Alright, Kalpun Piso here, connecting dots. We must go back into the past to understand the present and probably predict the future. We create God, the mind, with our brains. The greatest disorder today is Christophrenia.
So I'd like to get in the way of the spirit in case he wants to talk. And I
look at this Christophrenic.
Just ask that you would pray for me. You want to talk about risk that I would be able to hear, because sometimes.
Look at this schizophrenic. Guy's nuts, man. Guy's nuts,
man. Program today, God will wash this nation in blood if he has to. So now he's invoking John Brown rather than God, but he doesn't have to. He said, put your faith in God and push people again to go look at gold.
3. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Look at this garbage Bible in the Pentagon.
Words of those memos stirred up controversy inside the Pentagon.
Of course.
But the general who
look, they belong in a mental institution,
the
you
President
retards.
and then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld liked them.
Yeah,
GQ writer appeared on CNN's American Morning.
Religious man that he quoted from the Bible frequently. As he's
the Agoris draw a sacred circle around themselves to prevent evil spirits from interfering.
Bring the aliens!
Because you say that in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, the name of Christ-psychotic.
Real world requires the risks that they pose.
Ask some Jesus to protect you.
However,
and protect America.
We can be conquered by
send
God.
Angels to protect. The problems we have, these people suffering from neurological disorder called Christophrenia in government. And there is no God. Look at Ahmadinejad here.
I praised God the Almighty. He saw light around me, and I was placed inside an aura till the end of my speech.
And a control in the Senate and the House of men and women who believe in the moral values that this nation has.
The moral majority mobilized millions of voters, and while Ronald Reagan needed almost no help, in 2006, John McCain delivered the commencement address. In 2007, it was Newt Gingrich.
We are a nation founded and sustained by our Creator.
But this schizophrenic doesn't realize that our Creator is our dad's penis. Penis that passed semen, and we got the body. This idiot doesn't realize that. We're in the 21st century, not the 12th.
Change all the rules on which this Judeo-Christian nation was built. We cannot expect the Lord to put his shield of protection around us as he has in the past.
People don't realize that to be a Christian means that you have to believe in the resurrected zombie that used his blood to save and walked on water and did all these miracles. You have to.
Politics. It was founded in 1989 on the coattails of Pat Robertson's failed bid for president.
What's the difference between these philtards that have a problem with the brains and schizophrenics, or people with temporal lobe epilepsy? There's none. And these schizophrenic philtards are our doctors, our lawyers, running the country also. See the problem?
In asking for forgiveness of governmental leaders, where they lead us in prayer.
Oh God, we say to you, we do not have clean hands and a pure heart. No one does. You say not one is righteous, not even one, that your eyes.
You crazy woman, you belong in a mental institution.
Looking for one.
You should be put in jail.
Was that of Pastor Stephen Anderson of the Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona, on the day before the president's visit. Mr. Anderson told his parishioners that he hates Barack Obama and wants him
Racism, intolerance, and hate are created by Christophrenia. Here is the proof.
18 men gathered atop Stone Mountain in Georgia. As night fell, a towering cross was ignited and the Ku Klux Klan was reborn.
Yeah, 1915.
The organizer of the spectacle was a preacher-turned salesman named William Joseph Simmons.
There you go, a preacher. The invasion of Nadiland by Europe Christophrenics 1,000 years ago, initiating the Crusades, the slaughter of thousands of people, that resulted in a reaction. And they were there for 300 years, raping and killing. And Muslims, don't forget that. today. Don't forget that. And since Christophrenia makes Americans very stupid and ignorant, they forget the past. They repeat it. And they're still doing it. That's the reason they get all the problems.
Christ-psychosis infected mercenaries.
Innocent Iraqis. Military contractor accused of rape. Military contractors accused of faulty...
God, they're Christians. They're Christ-psychotic.
Soldiers. Military contractors accused of overbilling U.S. taxpayers. Military contractors linked to Abu Ghraib scandal. And the list, as you know...
They're Christian retards. They don't even understand that in Islamic country.
Now...
Into his underwear to bring down a U.S. airliner?
It's something very seductive about the path of jihad. When you're coming from that psychological state of meaninglessness.
What? Islam psychosis.
Desire to belong may have preyed.
No, he wants to be in heaven. The Christians do the same thing too.
Your scrolls. This is the same Anwar al-Awlaki who exchanged emails with Major Nidal Hassan, accused of killing 13 people at Fort Hood.
The problem today is that neurologists do not realize that believing God created in the brain is a neurological disorder very similar to schizophrenia.
Very deep impact on Arab society. One, they
don't forget
it as a barbarian incursion, and stories of those crusades are still told in cafes and in families as if they happened yesterday.
That's right. There you go.
Quite striking.
See what happens?
So whenever the West has invaded that region again, people say it's another crusade, which is why, after the awful events of 9/11, when the American president inadvertently, one assumes, said we now have to wage a crusade to stop Bush, a shiver went down the collective spine of the Islamic world, because they felt, they knew,
but their evil deeds had held them down, and it was a sign that they were truly witches.
Prior to the modern world, politics and religion are not separate. They're the same thing. If there's a disorder in society, it has a religious dimension. They honestly and seriously believe that when something peculiar occurs and it has an adverse impact on society, that somewhere along the line there is some diabolical aspect.
There's Christophrenia.
It's a way of personifying.
Many people
Puritans journeyed to the New World. They brought old fears.
Early Protestantism was very, very devil-obsessed. It was also very anti-sex. So when you get to groups like the Puritans, who went over to America and settled in New England, they brought that baggage with them. They were devil-fearers. They saw...
Porter and Prokes were put into a helicopter and flown back to Jonestown to identify bodies.
Look at that. Typical Christianity. That's Christianity for you.
909 people lay dead, many face down. Often the children lying hidden beneath them.
Yeah, mental illness, people.
All of this saving with blood and blood sacrifice nonsense came from Rome over 2,000 years ago with the ceremony of the Tower Volume, where the bull is sacrificed and the blood will cleanse you from your sins. And that's the reason doves were sacrificed, lamb was sacrificed, and that's why the Christians got their stupid, ridiculous ideas from. Also the bull in the bullfights came also from Rome, and from that came the Ashura, the festival of whipping yourself silly in the Ashura festival, and also circumcision of males cutting their pee-pee, which is a penis lord, and the woman mutilation.
In Egypt, 97% of girls aged 15 to 19 have endured some form of genital mutilation.
The creators of Christianity, the Catholic Church, adopted the practice of saving with blood from the cult that was used in Rome. In the Mass, when you say the Eucharist, the wine becomes blood and the bread flesh.
Before long, its walls were streaming with blood. Men and women cutting off their heads with our drawn swords. The surviving Saracens dragged the dead bodies out in front of the city gates and piled them up in mounds as high as houses. No one has ever seen or heard such slaughter.
And this is documented. This is a fact. This is
they
history.
burnt them on pyres as high as pyramids.
Almost 3 years after he left his homeland in Northern Europe, Duke Godfrey would become the new Christian ruler of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
All of this theotarded immoral psychopathy of blood sacrifice comes from the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Even the Pope wear red shoes representing blood. Everything that I say in my videos is based on facts, proven facts. Religious beliefs, Christianity is the worst form of neurological disorder ever. Patch it your own.